Imagine, if you will, a world where every soul has the freedom to be, to do, and to thrive. Picture a tapestry woven with threads of love, justice, and equality. This is not just an abstract ideal. It is the calling for each one of us to rise and weave our threads into the grand design of life. Welcome to today's episode, an exploration and an interview with Jesus of what it means to live with purpose and passion in a world that desperately needs both. As we stand in the company of hearts that have burned before us, think of our founding fathers of any nation, the visionaries who dared to dream of a land where liberty and justice were more than just words, more than just emotions. They were entrepreneurs of their own era, crafting a new reality from the raw material of hope and determination. The same spirit that fueled their dreams can fuel yours. When I first started my own entrepreneurial journey, I felt like a lone sailor navigating uncharted waters. There were moments of doubt, but the compass guiding me was the belief in something greater than myself, a conviction that my efforts, no matter how small, were part of a larger divine plan. In the quiet moments, ask yourself, how can I serve? How can I contribute to the greater good while fulfilling my own dreams? As you ponder these questions, remember that you are not alone. We are all interconnected, bound by the same threads of love and purpose. So let's dive deep into this episode, exploring words and realms hidden right beneath our noses. I have a task for you: to listen and to hear once again. They are ringing in the holes of our remembrance. Are you ready to embark on this transformative journey? Let's get started. I'll see you on the inside. Hello from the Pacific Northwest. This is Kristen from KristenWambach.com, and you're listening to Interviewing Jesus podcast. Answer me this: how does a Baptist farm girl from Oregon stumble upon the mystical nature of Christ, the love of God? If you're like me, Jesus has redefined what you used to say yes to. Join me and my guests on a mystical journey. But before we talk about the spiritual woo-woo, you need to know I am totally sold out to Jesus. It's amazing what the love of God reveals. Hello and welcome, beloved dreamers. That's you. Today I stand before you not just to speak, but to share the flame of a flickering candle. Are you listening? Are you listening to the temperature of the wind? Will the wind blow out the flame? My heart echoes from hearing different discussions over the weekend. Hard words spoken by my neighbors, emails and social media posts which are shaking the barometer of our humanity. How is that working for us? How is that working for you? Last night, I felt the Lord hand me a heavenly assignment. An assignment to check the source of the pressures that are creating changes on said barometer. Before beginning, I asked the Lord for help. I asked Him to show me the heart, His heart of the matter. As I have shared with you openly on many mystical tales, the doors in the Spirit opened to me. I was translated into a bilocational realm on the earth. Not a place that I have visited personally before. Most of this morning I sat quiet, unpacking His heart, listening. It's a discussion my heart, our connection here on this podcast, wants to share in a very creative way. Something different. Shake it up. I'm inviting you to listen. I'm inviting you to listen. I will intertwine 4 powerful passages in a rewritten story form. I'm inviting you to listen. As you are listening, I encourage you to ponder, to think, to feel, to know where my spirit is standing. Where is this place, this bilocational realm on the earth? Where did the Lord invite me? And now He invites us here to stand, to listen. What is the realm, the room, the building, or the place that the Lord has taken us to hear the vibration and the acoustics of another day? To hear the vibration and the acoustics of this day and the choices before us. A vision that calls us to look beyond the immediate and into the infinite possibilities that lie within our grasp. Once said, "I have a dream." And those words echo through the corridors of our hearts, inviting us to dream alongside. On this journey of both spiritual, our lives, and entrepreneurial growth, let's dive into some fascinating parallels. These documents in which I refer, though distinct in context, share some profound and underlying principles. They can guide us in our daily lives. They can speak to us right here in our heart. They can guide us in business endeavors. Imagine, if you will, a world where every soul has the freedom to be, to do, and to thrive. Picture that tapestry woven with threads of love, justice, and equality. This is not just an abstract ideal. It's a calling for each one of us to rise and weave our threads into the grand design of life. First, let's talk about freedom. Our mystery guest speaks passionately about our freedom in Christ. He emphasizes that we are no longer slaves, but children of God, liberated from the constraints of the law. Underscore the importance of freedom. Freedom of speech, religion, and the press, among others, just as our mystery guest encourages us to embrace our spiritual freedom. The framers of the content sought to create a society where individuals could live freely and pursue their own paths. In our life's journeys, we often face mountains of challenges, but as we are reminded, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. Each obstacle is not a blockade, but a stepping stone, an opportunity to carve out our own path with determination and grace. Think of the challenges as a raw material from which we mold our dreams. Think of freedom as the wind beneath our wings. Without it, neither our spiritual lives nor our adventures or entrepreneurial ventures can truly soar. Imagine trying to build a business without the freedom to innovate or express your ideas. It would be like trying to fly with clipped wings, frustrating and futile. I recall a time when, actually more than one time, when I stood at crossroads in my life. The path ahead was shrouded in uncertainty, much like a fog that hugs the early morning ground. But within that fog, I found my guiding star, faith. Faith that the journey, though uncertain, was guided by a higher purpose. And so I took that first step, and then another, trusting that the ground would rise to meet me. Next, let's explore the theme of inheritance and rights. The text paints a vivid picture of us as heirs, entitled to all the promises of God through Christ. This concept of inheritance resonates with great words which assert their certain rights are inherent and unalienable. These rights are not granted by the government, but are inherent to our humanity. A dream has not one owner. It is a beacon for all of humanity. Together we believe deeply that every individual carried the spark of greatness within every individual. And so do you. Your ideas, your visions, your spirit, These are all the flames that can illuminate the world. But remember, a single flame, though bright, can light countless others without losing its own brilliance. I remember when I started my own business, when I started this podcast, I felt a sense of ownership and responsibility, much like our mystery guest describes our spiritual inheritance. It was empowering to realize that just as no one could take away my rights as a citizen, no one could take away my God-given potential and purpose. Our dreams are the seedlings of reality. They need nurture and care and unwavering belief. Let us water them with our actions and tend them with our perseverance and shield them from the storms of doubt. And in time, they will grow, blossom, and bear fruit that nourishes not just ourselves, but the world around us. Finally, let's talk about transformation and growth. Our mystery guest urges the community to grow and mature in their faith, moving from a state of spiritual infancy to one of full maturity. This mirrors the evolution and growth envisioned by the words of wisdom before us. The framers understood that the nation would need to grow and adapt, which is why they include provisions for amendments. Our voices envision a time when we will be able to transform the jangling discords of a nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. As entrepreneurs and dreamers, we are the composers of that symphony. Every decision we make, every step we take, contributes to the harmony of our collective existence. In your life's journey, growth isn't just crucial. I've learned that every challenge and setback is an opportunity for growth, much like how the early Americans had to adapt and evolve their new nation. Embracing this mindset can transform obstacles into stepping stones. Let us dream, but also let us act and move, and let us envision, but let us also build. Let us aspire, but let us also inspire. The spirit of powerful voices that walks before us in enduring legacy, let us walk hand in hand towards a future where our dreams, rooted in love and justice, shape the world into a place of boundless possibility. To wrap it up, remember that the principles of freedom, inheritance, and growth are not just abstract ideas. They're practical tools for both your spiritual, relational, and entrepreneurial journey. Embrace your freedom and cherish your inherent rights, and always be open to growth. Inspired to live a life of purpose and passion. A Imagine for a moment that each of us carries a small, flickering flame within. This flame represents our inalienable rights, those intrinsic liberties bestowed upon us by our Creator. These rights are not granted by any government or institution. They are part of the divine blueprint of humanity. Just as a flame needs oxygen to burn brightly, our rights need protection and respect to truly shine. Unalienable rights are like the roots of a great tree. They anchor us, ensure that there's no matter how fierce the storm, we remain grounded in our essential dignity and worth. These rights are the bedrock upon which we build our lives, our communities, and indeed our very world. Now let's switch our hand tools and talk about the role of government in the grand design. Picture the government as a gardener of our metaphorical tree. Its role is not to own the tree, but to nurture it. The government must ensure that the soil is fertile with justice and equality, that the tree is sheltered from the harsh winds of tyranny, and that every branch, every individual has the space to grow. Its primary duty is to protect our lives and our liberty, ensuring that the light of our unalienable rights is never extinguished. But here's where it gets truly empowering. We are not just passive recipients on these rights. We are also the gardeners. Self-governance means that we are equals, have the responsibility and the privilege to tend our own lives and the lives of those around us. It's a beautiful partnership where the government provides the framework, but we fill in the details with our daily actions and choices. Think of self-governance like a group of musicians in a jazz band. Each player has the freedom to improvise, to express their unique melody, but they also listen to one another, ensuring that their contributions create harmonious music. There's a balance between individual freedom and collective responsibility, and when it works, it's magical. And what about the freedom to pursue happiness? This is perhaps the sweetest fruit our tree can bear. It's the idea that each of us should have the liberty to chase our dreams, to carve out our own path to joy without fear of coercion or undone restriction. Imagine this pursuit as a vast open field. We are free to wander, explore, and discover what brings us true fulfillment. Whether it's a career, a relationship, a passion project, or a spiritual journey. This concept of unalienable rights has inspired movements and revolutions around the globe. It's a torch that has been passed down through the generations, lighting the way for those who dare to seek a world where human rights are respected and upheld. The idea that our rights are God-given and universal has fueled the quest for justice and equality. In your daily life, reflect on these principles. How can you honor your own unalienable rights and those of others? How can you contribute to society that respects and protects these rights? And how can you pursue your own happiness while fostering an environment where others can do the same? So concludes my assignment to check the source of pressures that are creating changes on said barometer. Remember, each of us has a role to play in this grand symphony of humanity. Tend to your flame, nurture your tree, play your melody, and wander your field. Embrace your rights and responsibilities, and together we can create a world where every human being can thrive. Together we can make our in common dream inspire actions towards a living reality. Together we can transform our world. Together we can dream and do and dare to create a future that reflects the highest ideals of our shared humanity. Keep soaring, my friend. And there you have it, dear friends. A journey through the heart of purpose and passion, guided by the wisdom of one who walks this earth with unparalleled clarity and compassion. We've wove famous content from Galatians 4, spoken by the Apostle Paul, the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and Dr. Martin Luther King's great speech, I Have a Dream. Did you guess where my spirit was standing? I will leave the answer in the show notes. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with a question, one that I invite you to carry with you into your quiet moments of reflection. Imagine, if you will, a world where every soul has the freedom to be, to do, and to thrive. Picture a tapestry woven with threads of love, justice, and equality. What thread will you weave into this grand design of life? When I first purposed this question to myself and with the Lord, I was so overwhelmed by its vastness. I remember this morning just sitting in my office, aka recording studio, surrounded by my thoughts, my journal notes, papers, and half-formed ideas. Feeling like an artist with a blank canvas, where do I begin? The answer didn't come all at once, but unfolded gradually. like a flower blooming with each new day. Now I turn to you. Now I turn to you. Reflect on your own journey. How can you serve? How can you contribute to the greater good while fulfilling your own dreams? Remember, you are not alone. We are all interconnected in His oneness, bound by the same threads of love and purpose. So as we conclude this episode, I encourage you to listen, to truly hear the echoes of wisdom and purpose that are ringing in the halls of our remembrance. Let them inspire you to take action, to weave your unique thread into the tapestry of life. Thank you for joining me on this transformative journey. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep striving, and remember you're part of something magnificent. Stay inspired. I love you, my friends. I enjoyed this immensely. Bye now.